life where I wanna stay. Can you rescue me when I am falling? Gotta get a break and let the music play. Lift me up when I am crawling. Taking me to fame, to a place where peace of mind remains. Keep the party going till we see the sunlight. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, 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 stop. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and take it my night vibes, yeah.
I'll never get it back, said I took a different path. Well, I'll give him that, I found a switch, I'm flipping that so hard that my wrist will crack. I had to go and clear my head, now I know where my vision's at. The opposite of living fast, we got time. Late night talks, I can unwind. It's been a long day, but a young night. Good vibes around, I think we're alright. Life's a game I wanna play. I've been staying up too late. Might be strange, I swear I dream the most when I'm awake. Found out paradise was paid. Had to go and pump the brakes. But I'm still chasing, that's not changing. If you think it is, just wait.
Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and take it my night vibes, yeah. The bottle, drink all the wine, lift me up from in the sky. I can live a little on the time. Pass the bottle, drink all the wine, lift me up from in the sky. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and take it my night vibes, yeah.
I'm just going to keep dancing like this for a little bit. All right, what's up, shipheads? Live from the greatest city in the world, Cleveland, Ohio. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht, and I think this is the direction I'm going to go, or this direction, with not Zach Dubs. He is missing. I know where he is. He's on Twitch. We were supposed to cancel the show, and I got off of my schedule. I can't say what I'm doing right now legally, but I got off my schedule and I went in his Twitch stream and told him that we were doing a podcast, and he did not get it in time. So I think he has no idea we're doing this right now. But welcome. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht and not Zach Dubs, with missing Zach Dubs. And we don't have a sponsor today. So to Sports Nation Ohio. They are the sponsor. The official account of the Cleveland Sports Network, not affiliated with ESPN or Sports Nation. Cleveland and Ohio State sports news, updates, commentary, and humor. You can follow them on Twitter at @SN_Ohio. They have a clothing line coming out in the next upcoming week, so make sure to check it out. They have Cleveland and OSU apparel. So that is our sponsor. Sponsor is Sports Nation Ohio. The sponsor is at @SN_Ohio. And I also want to give a shout out to RK's Plumbing and Mechanical. They were not going to be a sponsor for us because they're in Phoenix, Arizona, but they said any publicity is good publicity. So shout out to RK's Plumbing and Mechanical, and that's about it. But thanks for dealing with this. We got merch in the store. We got Sir Yacht was right stuff. This color is sold out, so thank you guys very much. Really appreciate that. We got hats. We got even stuff for the ladies. Like, we got so much stuff. I appreciate all the love. It really means a lot. And I thank you guys for being here today and putting up with this. This is just a very crazy schedule for me with content and entertainment. But it'll slow down and I'll be back in the studio soon. So I appreciate you putting up with me. I appreciate you being on the show. So let's just hop right into it. We're going to talk about first the Browns 34-20 win over the Washington football team. I mean, are you kidding me? The Browns are over 500 for the first time since 2014. Like, the Browns have a winning record for the first time since 2014. And can we talk about our running game? Yes, Baker Mayfield wasn't that great, but our running game is fantastic. Nick Chubb looks like the best running back in the NFL. I'm going to say it. I mean, you can put him up there with Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry and maybe Ezekiel Elliott, but I think Nick Chubb is number one in the NFL right now, the best running back. He had 19 carries for 108 yards, an average of 5.7 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. And as long as 25, Kareem Hunt, 16 carries, 46 on the ground. And he did have a receiving touchdown from Baker Mayfield. And he's looking like a great receiving back. I mean, you have that two-headed punch of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, man, they just look really good. And then you had Harrison Bryant, the rookie. He only had 1 reception for 3 yards, but it was a touchdown reception. So shout out to him for getting his first career touchdown. That's
an easy way to serve fresh slices.
I tell you what, that was a mishap. I have my stats up here on ESPN, and, they're coming up and everything. Odell Beckham Jr. had 4 receptions for 59 yards. I'd like to see him get a little more active. What I'm confused about is, Rashard Higgins being inactive again. I mean, that's a complete mystery, just like last year. He signed a deal to come back here. We didn't see much of Kadir Hodge. He didn't have any receptions or yards or anything like that, but he did have a big role in blocking. We saw JoJo Natson get a carry for 3 yards on a reverse. I mean, he's got some speed. He's the return guy. Type things. All right, so I got to pull up the chat on my phone. We are my Tyler Piggott, our producer from Cam Voice. He is live from Arkansas streaming into our studio. Nobody's at our studio right now. So I really appreciate that. Look at Zach. Look at that. Look at Zach's missing. If the reward is TikTok clout, I'll shout you out in a TikTok video. And Zach too. If you can find out where he is. He's on his stream actually. So but don't show him love. Show the show love. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, the Browns looked very good. Yes, they beat a team that was called the football team. Okay, like obviously, that's that. But what I'm really happy about is it's hard to win in the NFL, and it's not very often that the Browns win 2 games in a row, and it's not very often that the Browns have an above 500 record. So really shout out to them, and shout out to the MVP of the game for the Browns, which was quarterback Dwayne Haskins of the Washington football team. He had 21 completions out of 37 attempts for 224 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions and a fumble. And the Browns scored on, I believe, all 3 interceptions touchdowns. And I believe they also scored on the fumble. So Dwayne Haskins, I was really high on. My friend and I was giving my friend crap because I was saying, he's going to be good. And he was not good. My friend also was saying that Justin Fields is like Josh Rosen, he's saying because all Ohio State quarterbacks don't pan out in the NFL. And I just completely disagree with the whole Justin Fields aspect. He's getting picked top 5 next year, no doubt, behind Trevor Lawrence. Somebody is going to pick him in the top 5. But Dwayne Haskins struggled yesterday, could not hold on to the ball. That defense yesterday for Washington got completely drained. And it just the 1-2 punch of Chubb and Hunt was just too much for them. So, and then let's talk about Baker Mayfield a little bit. No interceptions. He closed the streak. He ended his streak of 8 consecutive games with throwing an interception. No interceptions. He was 16-23. I mean, if Baker's throwing 23, 25 times a game, that's fine, because that means that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are getting carries. And Chubb had 19, Kareem Hunt at 16. So that's huge. I mean, 35 carries right there for your 1-2 punch. Mike _Browns_ UK says the Eagles need a new quarterback. We could jump into that shortly. But I am happy with Baker. He did not have a good first quarter. He had a great second quarter. And I think he did well enough the rest of the game. Third quarter was a little shaky, but you know what? He did well enough. And he's definitely a much better quarterback. He's looking like the rookie quarterback he was in 2018. So I'm very happy for him. It's very encouraging for the Browns. They go 2-1 going into this coming week against the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington or wherever the hell they are. I think it's in Dallas. I don't know. But anyways, very happy about that. So it looks like everybody on the Browns got some receptions, except for, Rashard Higgins, who was inactive. But I'm very happy about this. The Browns are 2-1. I mean, they're 2-0 at home. Are you kidding me? You couldn't ask for anything more. I don't think anybody realistically thought they were going to beat the Ravens. I thought it was going to be closer week 1, but it is what it is. The Ravens are a fantastic team. They're 3-0. They're looking great. But the Browns are 2-1. They're second place in the division. It's pretty good. And then obviously you have the Steelers that are also they're 3-0. The Steelers are okay. So the Browns are in third, whatever, but they have the second best record. And then you have the Bengals, which are 0-2-1, and you're like, what? But there was a tie yesterday, a 23-23 tie against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, can we talk about that for a little bit? We'll talk about the Bengals a little bit, but I first want to focus on, like Mike Brown's UK kind of said, about this Carson Wentz thing. I mean, they pulled Carson Wentz and put in Jalen Hurts, and then I guess Carson Wentz, went back in the game, but it's like, what's going on? And forgive me, Eagles fans that are on this, if any Eagles fans are on this stream. But I put out so many things about how Baker, like the Browns didn't take Carson Wentz. They took DeShone Kizer all the way in the third round instead of Watson, Mahomes, and whatever. I mean, they got Myles Garrett, their guy, who ate yesterday. He played very well, made the possibly the biggest defensive play of the game yesterday. So that was huge. But they didn't get Mahomes, Watson, or Trubisky. Which, Trubisky got pulled yesterday too, and we'll talk about that. But, yes, Mike Brown's UK, the Eagles need a new quarterback. I mean, you have people jumping ship for Carson to Trevor Lawrence. So that's what's crazy about this situation is that, Carson looked like the guy at times. I mean, he has a very good record. He led that team to the playoffs, and you have, Nick Foles. You have Nick Foles just take them all the way from the playoffs into the Super Bowl, and it seems like every time that the Eagles need Carson Wentz, he is not there due to injury. Well, now it looks like he doesn't even belong as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Yesterday he was 29-47, 225 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. How many times is he going to do this? How many times? Stop. Get muted. Jalen Hurts comes in, and he doesn't. What is happening?
Because Halloween, only at Target.
I'm a hot mess right now. This ESPN thing is fucking killing me. Do not play. I muted you. Do not play. Sorry about that. Jalen Hurts comes in, and he has 2 rushes for 8 yards. Doesn't throw a pass at all. So, obviously a tough spot to put in your second-round pick, aka your backup quarterback. But do the Eagles put in Jalen Hurts next week? Or do they stick with Carson Wentz? I mean, it's clear right now, and you can say this as you want to, whatever. Carson Wentz is not the guy. He's not the guy, and it's so sad because he's a great dude, a great person, and he led that team, that Super Bowl team, to the playoffs, and Nick Foles took off from there. But he's not the same guy that he was. He just doesn't have it. Unfortunately, I just don't think the Eagles can win with him as the quarterback. And, is Jalen Hurts the answer? I don't know. I think he needs to sit for a year and get some development. So maybe stick it out with Carson Wentz this year. But, who knows? The Philadelphia Eagles are also 0-2-1. They're, one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. They're not the worst because you still have the Atlanta Falcons who, what the hell, their offense is so good, but how are they losing all these games? Maybe they go after a guy like Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields next year, the Philadelphia Eagles. But I want to give some credit to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow played well, 31-44. And his average went up from last week in the 5s for passes to 7.1. 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, no interceptions. That's huge. He did take 8 sacks for 56 yards. 8 sacks for 57 yards. And his quarterback rating was only 51.7. His QBR, his total rating was 105.5. Joe Mixon, 17 carries for 49 yards. T. Higgins, the rookie, 5 receptions for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. So shout out to him. Great game from him. But so the Bengals obviously is going to be a rebuilding year. They got to get an offensive line for Joe Burrow. He took a nasty hit. I don't remember who led the hit, but it was nasty, and I hope he's okay. But in summation, I don't think Carson Wentz is the guy anymore for Philadelphia, and it looks like it's just going to be a wait-and-see sort of year. Again, things can happen, and he can turn around, and I hope Carson does because he's a great person. He really is. But it just doesn't look like he's the guy. It doesn't look like he's the guy anymore. So we'll talk about let's talk about Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago and the Falcons. Obviously, Mitch Trubisky got pulled. I think got pulled in the second quarter. And the Bears ended up winning the game 30-26. Now, Mitch Trubisky got pulled in the second quarter, and a lot of people are thinking, without watching the game, hello, the Bears are 2-0. Trubisky has had some effect on that. Why is Mitch Trubisky getting pulled? And apparently the Bears were just tired of seeing what they said. They needed a spark plug, and Nick Foles is that spark. And he threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Big Dick Nick. I was good up until then. I think I'm going to get demonetized on YouTube, but I don't know if anybody's really watching on YouTube. We got everybody on Twitter. But Trubisky, okay, so let's get our stats up here. Mitch Trubisky, 13 of 22, 128 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, took 2 sacks for 9 yards. He had a rush for 45 yards. It was a complete blow-up play. And the Bears weren't really getting anywhere. I think when Trubisky got pulled, it was 10-16. They were down. I'm not quite sure. But I know that first pass throws a touchdown pass that ends up getting overturned and is an interception. And everybody's like, oh, you pulled Trubisky for this. This is BS. So the Bears were down 10-16 at the half. And then it gets completely worse. The Falcons score 10 more points, and they're up 26-10 going into the third quarter. And Big Dick Nick throws 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter. So all his 3 touchdown passes, he threw the interception in the second. He went 16 of 29 total, 188 yards for 3 touchdowns to lead the Bears to a comeback win. I can't handle ESPN. 3 touchdowns. Jimmy Graham had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns for the Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, the second, 1. Anthony Miller, who I just dropped this week, 1 as well. So shout out to Big Dick Nick. It's huge. What a game for him. Truly unbelievable. An amazing game. And it just goes to show that Nick isn't just good in the Eagles uniform. He was not looking great last year in the Jaguars uniform. He gets traded to the Bears, and he looks like the guy now. You got guys on CBS or wherever that game is broadcasted. Is Nick Foles the starter next week? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Nick Foles is 100% the starter next week and for the rest of the season. Unfortunately, Mitch Trubisky being the guy from Northeast Ohio, from Mentor, it sucks to see him get replaced, and I don't see him, having his career again unless Nick gets injured, God forbid, with the Chicago Bears. But it looks like his time is over. And it's funny because, in a sad way, because Mitch had this prosperous career. A prosperous game the other day. They had 3 touchdown passes, and Now it appears that he is now it appears he's not the guy anymore. And obviously, you know, this adds salt to the wound for Philadelphia Eagles fans seeing their former guys, former Super Bowl MVP on another team. What really bothers me, and I know people are going to say that hindsight is 2020, but you got to understand, Nick Foles led your team to the playoffs, into the Super Bowl, and had Super Bowl MVP. And you pay the person that was injured a $100 million contract or whatever amount of money that Carson Wentz got. You don't pay that guy. And you just let Nick Foles walk in a year or 2 years. And he's the guy that has consistently led the Eagles. Now, granted, Carson has had great regular seasons, but in his last couple seasons, he has not been good. He's been below 500. And he's injured every single game that it matters later in the season and into the playoffs. And you pay him instead of Nick Foles. Now, obviously, that is a risky move. When you draft the guy number 2 overall and you have this guy as a backup quarterback who does win the Super Bowl MVP, but you had Eagles fans coming out and saying that even if Nick Foles led them to another Super Bowl, they would still have Carson Wentz to start and you would still pay him hundreds of millions of dollars, which I think is absolute blasphemy. It's absolute bullshit. So to add salt to the wound, Nick Foles leads. First off, the Atlanta Falcons fucking suck. They lose every single game. They lose every single lead. You know, prayers up for the Falcons fans if they have any anymore. I would understand why if they did not. But Big Dick Nick leads the Chicago Bears with 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter to come back from 26-10 to win the game 30-26. And Carson Wentz gets benched and Jalen Hurts comes in and stinks it up as well. But I don't know what the answers are with Philadelphia. I don't know. But we do know Chicago has their quarterback, and it is not named Mitch Trubisky. His name is Nick Foles. Steelers beat the Texans 28-21. Deshaun Watson, my fantasy quarterback, 19-27, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ben Roethlisberger, boo, 23-36, 237 yards. I can't stand ESPN. We're just going to keep doing this shit. Shut up. Bullshit. Ben Roethlisberger threw 2 touchdowns, 23-36. I have a bet with my friend this season that Deontay Johnson won't do as good will do better than Juju Smith-Schuster. That is not looking good. Deontay Johnson has stunk it up. I mean, he didn't even get a reception yesterday. So I'll probably release him. We'll see. But yeah, screw the Steelers. Don't really care about them too much. And then I think the Ravens won yesterday as well. No, they played tonight, right? The Ravens play tonight. I'm so bad at this. But yeah, they played 8:15. Okay, great. So next we have the 49ers beat a New York team for the second week in a row at MetLife's shitty turf. They beat the Giants 36-9 after beating the Jets last week. Shout out to the 49ers for destroying the teams from New Jersey. There's only one team in New York, let me remind you, and that is not the New York Jets or the New York Giants. It is the Buffalo Bills. The New York Giants and Jets are in New Jersey. But, credit to the 49ers. They are completely depleted right now. I mean, they are hurting. And they have beaten the New York teams by a combined 67-22 in 2 weeks in a row. So shout out to them. Shout out to all them. Jimmy Garoppolo, 14 completions on 16 attempts for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Mullins came in as well, 8 of 11 for 71 yards. And Raheem Mostert, 8 carries, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Jared McKinnon, 3 carries, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, they are a 1-2 punch as well. They have they have Tevin Coleman as well. He only had 12 yards on 14 carries, but, shout out to them. And, oh, God, I just read the Jets game. Ugh. The Jets box score. That was confusing. So Nick Mullins played yesterday. Yeah, Garoppolo didn't play. Sorry, I knew this. Mullins, 25-36 for 343 yards and 1 touchdown. Jared McKinnon, nobody really rushed well for the 49ers yesterday. But Jeffrey Wilson had a touchdown pass. I mean, apparently their defense did really well, but Anyways, a weird week in football, and it all started with the Browns being 2. I think when the Browns win, it just completely turns the world upside down. It was more 2020 than the Browns winning a lot of games. Again, we're going to take we'll take a quick break here, Tyler. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht, and to my left, missing, is Zach Dubs. And we are sponsored by SN_Ohio, Sports Nation Ohio. We are sponsored by them. They have new merch coming out soon for Cleveland, Ohio State stuff. When we come back, we will talk about breaking news. Doc Rivers is no longer the coach of Los Angeles Clippers. We'll talk about the matchup between the Lakers, LeBron and his former team, not the Cavs, but the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. And we will also talk about fantasy football implications, among anything else that you want to type in the chat. Again, this is Sir Yacht with the Yacht Club, and we are sponsored today by Sports Nation Ohio. We'll be right back after this.
Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with lime and it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with lime and it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes, yeah. Take me all the way to a life where I wanna stay. Can you rescue me when I am falling? Gotta get a break and let the music play. Lift me up when I am crawling. Taking me to fame, to a place of peace of mind remains. Keep the party going till we see the sunlight. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, 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 stop. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with lime and it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and take it my night vibes, yeah. I'll never get them back, said I took a different path. Well, I'll give them that, I found a switch, I'm flipping that so hard that my wrist will crack. I had to go and clear my head, now I know where my vision's at. The opposite of living fast, we got time. Late night talks, I can unwind. It's been a long day, but a young night. Good vibes around, I think we're alright. Life's a game I wanna play. I've been staying up too late. Might be strange, I swear.
Welcome back, shipheads, live from the greatest city in the world. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht and missing Zach Dubs. Where is Zach Dubs, my co-host? Let me know. But also, let me know about the merch. Yes, sir, I was right. We're sold out of the red. We have so many other Big Ten colors. We got hats. We got women's clothing. We got flip-flops. We got shorts. We got everything like imaginable under the deep blue sea. So link in my bio for the Yacht store. I really appreciate all the support. It really means a lot. We invest all of it, in just making better content, putting it into the show and everything. So I really appreciate that. But this is the Yacht Club. It's Sir Yacht and not Zach Dubs. And we are sponsored by Sports Nation Ohio today at SN_Ohio. And to read a little thing for them, they have a store. They have merch coming out next week that's Cleveland and Ohio State football or Ohio State focused. They're your official account of the Cleveland Sports Network, not affiliated with ESPN or Sports Nation. Cleveland and Ohio State sports news, updates, commentary, and humor. Follow them on Twitter at SN_Ohio. They are our unofficial sponsor today. So thanks to them for the last minute thing. We'll talk about this real quick. Breaking news. Doc Rivers out as LA Clippers coach after disappointing end to season, as ESPN writes. So Doc Rivers has stepped down as the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers in what Chairman Steve Ballmer called a mutual decision. The team fell well short of its championship expectations this season after acquiring All-Stars Kawhi Leonard and Paul George last summer and what were NBA-altering moves. I'll read this last paragraph. Doc has been a terrific coach for the Clippers, an incredible ambassador, and a pillar of strength during tumultuous times, Ballmer said in a statement Monday. He won a heck of a lot of games and laid a foundation for this franchise. He had 2 years left on his contract, according to Wojnarowski. They went 49-23 in the regular season, the fourth best record, but they blew a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference semifinals against the Denver Nuggets. And this is the third time Doc Rivers has blown a 3-1 lead. It's just shocking because Doc Rivers obviously was with the Celtics for a long time, and now he's with the Clippers for a long time. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's like you look at the Clippers, and they were supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, and that didn't happen. Obviously, the Nuggets went. Where does Doc Rivers go from here? Maybe he's the coach of the Sixers. Maybe the Cavs fire J.B. Bickerstaff. They should, and bring in Doc Rivers. But he will not be sitting on the sidelines for long. He is an incredible coach. And, I wish him the very best. He has had the worst misfortune. Unfortunately, sometimes you need a change of scenery. You need a culture change as an organization. So that is what it is. It is crazy. It's crazy. People get replaced and people that are legends. And I just can't even. I'm dumbfounded. I have no words for Doc Rivers being out. Okay, so on the other side of Los Angeles, the team that runs Los Angeles, the Lakers, LeBron James is facing his former team. It's not the Cleveland Cavaliers, you dumb, stupid idiots. It's the Miami Heat, out of all teams, led by Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. Are you kidding me? The Lakers and the Heat in the finals? I mean, that's what we wanted when LeBron was on the Heat, and we had Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, on the Lakers. Unfortunately, never got that matchup between LeBron and Kobe when LeBron was in Cleveland or Miami. But the Los Angeles Lakers are heavy favorites to win the NBA Finals, but the Miami Heat are drawing early action. A lot of sportsbooks are saying the Lakers, are going to win. They're minus 400 favorites right now, and the Heat are plus 320 underdogs, but the Heat have been underdogs the entire season. I don't think that necessarily changes anything. What I am very excited about is seeing LeBron going up against his old coach, Eric Spoelstra. How is he going to draw up defenses or strategies against the Los Angeles Lakers? And so Mike _Browns UK, the only person that seems to be chatting in this, shout out to them, shout out to him. He's saying that if the Lakers go 7, if this goes 7, the Lakers will win, and I completely agree. I just think it unfortunately for LeBron, people are going to say, like, if he wins, asterisks win. If he doesn't win, it was set up easily for him. Those people can fuck off, honestly. Nothing about playing in COVID is easy. The mental preparation of being secluded from everybody you love, being secluded from the outside world. Yes, you are in Disney World and you're playing a sport and everything like that, but it is tough. It is tough. And everybody is under those exact same conditions. So it's not like he gets special privilege or anything like that. Everybody has to go through what he's going through. He has to go through what everybody else is going through. So I think LeBron and the Lakers are going to pull this one out in 5 or 6. And then I think, I believe in miracles and everything like that. I think Kobe Bryant up there, I think they're going to win this one for Kobe. And I think LeBron and Anthony Davis, that duo tandem, is just going to be too much for the Miami Heat. And I'm very happy for Jimmy Butler's first NBA Finals appearance. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. Shout out to Andre Iguodala for making 6 straight NBA Finals. I mean, Obviously, his roles were a little different compared to the first one where he won, Finals MVP to not being kind of non-existent right now. But it's all about the culture. You have winning people on there that really changes, the dynamics. So shout out to Andre Iguodala. But it's going to be interesting. I have high hopes for this series. I think it's going to go very well. I do want to talk about the song that was playing that I was humming. That song, a lot of people have asked about it. I really appreciate it. That is my song, our band. We are called Maui Ski Club, MAUI Ski Club. And that song is called Night Vibes. And it's on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and anywhere you can find music. So please check that out. Maui Ski Club, Night Vibes. I appreciate all the love on that song. That's the song that plays during the breaks in the intro. But I will say that the Lakers, I think, are going to, at max, go to 6. If it goes to 7, they're going to win. But at max, I think they win in 6. I think they actually win in 5. I think the Heat take game 2 or game 3. But I think the Lakers are just going to be too much. LeBron and Anthony Davis and that supporting cast are dangerous. And the Heat are more of a complete team. They play more like a team. But I just think it's just LeBron. I mean, he's just such a factor. And when the second best player on your team is Anthony Davis, who is also the second best player on the court, no disrespect to Tyler Hero, no disrespect to Jimmy Butler, no disrespect to anybody on the Miami Heat. But Anthony Davis is the second best player on that court. And LeBron is the first player. How are you feeling about the Tribe heading into tomorrow's wild card series with the Yankees? Can we talk about that too? So I'm nervous. That is a tough draw for the Indians, the 4 seed playing the 5th seed Yankees. Unfortunately, that is what it is. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good. I'm not quite sure how long the series are. I want to say it's 3 games. But what I'm looking for is the pitching we know is there. And this has been the same narrative all season for the Indians. We know the pitching is there. Is the hitting going to come through in the playoffs? It does not look good. They did not make the playoffs last year. They got swept by the Astros the year before. Not as the Astros, it's the cheating Astros. Were they cheating? Who knows? But Jose Ramirez, they've had so many walk-offs to end the season. They have such magic right now. They have a lot of momentum going into the playoffs, which is huge. It's not as big as that 22-game win streak in 2018 or 2017, but I will take it. I'm happy they don't have a 22-game win streak because they don't seem to be as tired. The issue here, and my partner, not Zach Dubs, can agree, missing Zach Dubs, has been the hitting. The pitching has been great. They've dealt pitchers, the past 2-3 years, and the pitching still is there. Shane Bieber is going to win the Cy Young. He might win the MVP as a pitcher, which is such a rarity to do. He is a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, who, by the way, this might be the last year that the Cleveland Indians themselves can win a World Series. I'm not talking about Francisco Lindor or anything like that, but the name Cleveland Indians, because next year they might be a different team name. Obviously, the Washington Redskins changed the football team. You have political implications and things like that. So enjoy the name. Enjoy the name while it's here. This is going to be the last run to have Francisco Lindor. Why not put it all in? They're probably going to trade him after next year. I'm praying they are able to pay him. But you have Francisco Lindor on the team. You have a lot of magic with Jose Ramirez right now. And a lot of guys are, playing well. The pitching staff is doing great. You're going up against the New York Yankees tomorrow, who are no slight. They're a tough 5th seed. Go out and play. We blew a 2-0 lead against the Yankees in 2017. The biggest concern that Mike_Browns UK, who's the only person commenting on this, or the only person I'm seeing, is errors and giving New York extra outs. And that is the biggest thing. My biggest concern is giving New York extra outs, but also LOB, left on base. In the playoffs, the Indians are notorious for leaving runners in scoring position on base or anybody on base. The least amount of times you can leave people on base. Maybe that's solo home runs or things like that. But when you have people on base, particularly in scoring position, you need to have them score. There's no pop-outs and everything like that are short. If you got to hit the ball, you got to put it in play. You got to advance the runner. And when it's your time to bat, you have to put the ball in play. And you just got to score. It's easier said than done. But if the Indians can eliminate their LOB being low and having they're wasted runners in scoring position. I think a lot of good things will happen. Let's talk about the NFL Monday night matchup tonight. We have the Ravens and the Chiefs playing each other. Notorious running back Lamar Jackson, just kidding. He is definitely more than a running back. But what arguably the best two quarterbacks in the game right now, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, that 1-2 going up against each other tonight. I mean, it's gonna this up at this point is probably gonna be the best game of the year. I'm very excited to see what happens. I honestly think the Chiefs aren't as good as they were last year. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think the Ravens surprise people tonight and win tonight. I think the Baltimore Ravens advance to 3-0. They are at home. I don't know. There's not in-person attendance. But I do think the Ravens pull it out tonight. I'm going to say I think it's going to be a gunslinging game. Yes, the Ravens defense is very good, and that is something to take into consideration as well. But obviously, Patrick Mahomes is an absolute stud and the greatest quarterback of this generation. I do think that the Ravens pull this out, and I think it's a field goal game. I'm going to say the final score of this game is 31-28. Chiefs lose to the Ravens. Ravens win 31-28. I think Lamar Jackson has 2 touchdowns. Maybe he runs one in. I like J.K. Dobbins a lot. I see him getting a touchdown here. And I just think the Ravens a little more complete on offense and defense. I think Lamar Jackson's having a great year. I mean, again, the Chiefs are great. I'm an idiot and traded Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I traded him before the first game of the season for, this is going to hurt to say, Le'Veon Bell and David Johnson. Now, David Johnson hasn't been bad. Le'Veon Bell is not. He's been injured, and when he has played, he sucked. That's horrible. My friend, Tom Romello, a.k.a. T Mello, friend of the show, usually holds the chat down. Dick. Completely robbed me. But again, that is my fault. That is nobody else's fault. A little unfortunate, though. But I think it's going to be an exciting game tonight. I'm so happy that football is back. I mean, we just didn't have football before, and now we have it. And we have to take advantage of that. So what I'm really looking forward to is this guns. I honestly think, yes, the Ravens have arguably the best defense in the NFL, or one of the best defenses in the NFL. I don't think Patrick Mahomes really cares. I don't think it really is going to affect him. I do think it's going to help the Ravens a little bit, but I still think it's going to be a 31-28 game. The Chiefs are going to lose to the Ravens. Sorry, I'm looking at my fantasy. My fantasy team is so bad this week. We can talk about that real quick. About fantasy teams. I had Tom Brady on my bench, 37 points on the bench. I started him last week, though. It's just whoever's on my bench does better. Deshaun Watson has 28 points. I don't know, Chenault from Jacksonville, 5.9. Deontay Johnson, 0.9. I pulled my kicker and my Ravens defense. I pulled them. I just, whatever. I'm going to lose. I'm down currently 160-82. I mean, unless the Ravens get 90 points tonight, I'm probably going to lose the game. And Harris Butker, whatever his name is. It's a little unfortunate. But, it is what it is. So, a lot of things weird today in the sports world. I just can't believe Doc Rivers is no longer he left the Clippers, and it's a mutual decision. But, yeah, I mean, it's strange. But, yeah, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to close the show. But, source, Earl Thomas is going to sign with the Texans. Wow. That's an interesting one. So, and also LSU lost this weekend, which is pretty crazy, to Mississippi State. Shout out Mike Leach. We'll talk about some more stuff when we come back. We'll talk about maybe the Browns and Cowboys preview for next week. But we'll take a break real quick. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht and not Zach Dubs. He is missing. He is a wanted man on the show. This is the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht and Zach Dubs. We are today sponsored by Sports Nation Ohio, and we will be right back after this break. Play that music, Night Vibes by my band, Maui Ski Club. We'll be right back.
I lost a couple nights, I'll never get them back. Said I took a different path. Well, I'll give them that. I found a switch, I'm flipping that so hard that my wrist will crack. I had to go and clear my head. Now I know where my vision's at. The opposite of living fast, we got time. Late night talks I can unwind. It's been a long day, but a young night. Good Good vibes around, I think we're all right. Life's a game I wanna play. I've been staying up too late. Might be strange, I swear I dream the most when I'm awake. Found out paradise was paid, and be going pump the brakes. But I'm still chasing, that's not changing. If you think it is, just wait.
Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with mine, and it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes, yeah. The bottle, drink all the wine, lift me up from in the sky. I can't live unless it's all the time. Pass the bottle, drink all the wine, lift me up from in the sky. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes. Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes, yeah.
Take me all the way to a life where I wanna stay. Can you rescue me when I am falling? Gotta get a break and let the music play. Lift me up when I am crawling. Taking me to fame to a place where peace of mind remains. Keep the party going till we see the sunlight. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, keep calm with the music. Stop, 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 stop.
Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight. Someday I'll live up my life and taking my night vibes, yeah.
I lost a couple nights, I'll never get them back. Said I took a different path. Well, I'll give them that. I found a switch, I'm flipping that so hard that my wrist will crack. I had to go and clear my head, now I know where my vision's at. The opposite of living fast, we got time. Late night talks, I can unwind. It's been a long day, but a young night. Good vibes around, I think we're all right. Life's a game I wanna play. I've been staying up too late. Might be strange, I swear I dream the most when I'm awake. Found out paradise was paid, and be going pump the brakes. But I'm still chasing, that's not changing. If you think it is, just wait.
Up all night, I'm taking the night vibes. I'll make it on the fly. It's lasting all night time, yeah. One shot with my man, it's a one shot tonight.
I think I'm live, but I'm not sure. There's a delay because Tyler, our producer, is in Arkansas today. So shout out Tyler. Doing a great job in Arkansas, remotely producing the show today for just one person, me. So I really appreciate that. We are live. What is up, shipheads? Live from the greatest city in the world. This is the Yacht Club. We are back with Sir Yacht and not Zach Dubs. He is missing. I have no idea where he is. Just kidding. I know where he is, but he doesn't know we're shooting the show right now. So that is quite unfortunate. But this is the Yacht Club, and we are sponsored today by Sports Nation Ohio at SN_Ohio, the official account of the Cleveland Sports Network, not affiliated with ESPN or Sports Nation. Cleveland and Ohio State sports news, updates, commentary, and humor. They have merch coming out soon, Cleveland and OSU apparel. They have a clothing line coming out in the next upcoming week. So that is our sponsor today. We appreciate them for letting us say their name. For people that like the song that is on the break, which I need to retweet this, that is my band song. We are called Maui Ski Club, MAUI Ski Club, and the song is called Night Vibes. So we appreciate everybody who is who likes the song, and that means, you know, it means a lot for me. It really does. It really means a lot. We put a lot into the music. We're doing putting a new song out soon with a record label out in New Jersey. I was just on the phone with them before the show. So a lot of cool things happening, a lot of things I can't talk about happening behind the scenes, but there's a lot of cool things. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited sports are back. I'm excited the Indians are playing tomorrow. LeBron is in the NBA Finals again for a 10th time. Andre Iguodala is in the Finals for a 6th time. That would be impressive, more so, except LeBron has done it before 9 times in a row. Now, LeBron has been in the Finals 9 times in the last 11 years. That is absurd. That is crazy. So shout out LeBron, shout out the Lakers. I do hope they win for LeBron's title aspirations. If he can get 4 championships, that would be great. I think doing this one for Kobe would be great. The meaning for Los Angeles to bring them back a title for the first time in 10 years. I mean, I think that would be amazing. And doing it for Kobe. A lot of pressure for that. A lot of pressure, but I think they can get it done against the Miami Heat. Lastly, before we go, we're going to talk about, obviously, the Ravens and Chiefs conclude the season tonight. Any comments, anything in the chat, let me know. I'd love to, you know, respond to you guys in the chat. We really only had Mike Brown's UK respond, but, you know, it is what it is. I appreciate him holding on the chat. We're missing some people. Please look forward to Barstool Big Cat at Barstool Big Cat coming in to the show. And you know, while you're here, I'll send him a message on Twitter right now before I forget. We'll talk about the Browns and Cowboys here shortly. And anything else that you guys in the chat want to talk about, because I have the chat right here. But we'll message Big Cat right now. I will say, my bookie is no longer, and he read my last messages. We'd love, no longer our sponsor. We'd love to get you on the show on a Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Whenever you are available, please let me know. Also, congrats on the Bears. So that's kind of cool. I can just message Big Cat whenever I want. I hope he still knows who I am, because I haven't said too much about I hope he doesn't think I'm not in existence or anything, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I just messaged Big Cat. I think we'll get him on the show eventually. He did want me to come on his show if we had a bookie as a sports book as our sponsor, because they did just launch Barstool Sportsbook, so shout out to them. However, we do not have them as a sponsor anymore. We have mutually parted ways. Do you think the Buckeyes, Mike Brown's UK, hold down the chat again? Can somebody else type in the chat? Unbelievable. K-Block, what up? But I appreciate that. Thanks for coming in the chat. It really means a lot. Mike Brown's UK, do you think the Buckeyes will make the playoffs if they win out, or is 8 games not a big enough sample size? No. So league, I mean, this is all, you know, legalities and everything. The Ohio State and anybody in the Big Ten, whoever wins the Big Ten is making the college football playoff. Yes, it is only 8 games, but the Buckeyes, if they win out, will make the college football playoff. And anybody else in the Big Ten wins out, they will make the college football playoff. So 8 games, then you go into the Big Ten championship game, and if you win, obviously, if there's one loss, maybe not, but whoever wins the Big Ten has a great chance of making the college football playoff. That has a great chance. And I think it's Ohio State. I think they have a little revenge tour. Obviously, you had the Steelers come up with a revenge tour name, which makes no sense because Ben Roethlisberger injured himself. It was a non-contact injury. And the 49ers have a revenge tour after they, you know, lost the Super Bowl, and their fans cry over not winning Super Bowls, even though they've won a lot of Super Bowls in their history. And, you know, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge and amazing views. But, you know, they suffer too, and they're very injured. They're very injured, unfortunately. I think both out for the rest of the season. But you have a revenge tour. You have a revenge tour with Ohio State and all the teams that they fucking, are going to run over because they delayed the season. Nebraska comes in week 1, unfortunately. They're going to get the hammer. But Nebraska, put up a giant fight for the Big Ten to be back. So I just appreciate everybody in the Big Ten putting in a huge effort just for Ohio State to steamroll them. That is my prediction. And also just let everybody know I'm a giant Auburn fan. By relationship, my girlfriend went to Auburn, so I'll be rooting for Auburn this season as well. But let's talk about the Browns and Cowboys. K-Block messaged a million times in the chat. I don't know if these are going through, but what are your thoughts on Andrew Sandeo? Oh, maybe people are commenting. I'm just not seeing them. What are your thoughts on Andrew Sandeo? I would rather have the Cleveland Browns play nobody than play Andrew Sandeo. It's unfortunate because he's just a backup safety, but he is a terrible backup safety that is starting for the Browns. I'm hoping they get in Ronnie Harrison this coming week against the Cowboys. Obviously, Grant Delpit is injured, but it's great that they have Ronnie Harrison. I pray that he gets some time this week. Some good time and learns the defense. We'll see. But Browns at Cowboys, the Cowboys are a little erratic. I mean, the Browns have put up 30-plus points in 2 consecutive games for the first time in a very long time. Obviously you have Dak and Ezekiel Elliott along with that offensive line. But you also have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt on the other side with a great offensive line. And can we talk about Wyatt Teller, right guard for the Browns? He's playing, I think, right guard. He's playing phenomenal. Jedrick Wills is playing great. The whole offensive line is protecting very well. Jack Conklin, good to have him back. I mean, they're protecting very well. So shout out to them. Baker's playing well. They need to get Odell involved. They need to get him involved early this coming week. But I do honestly think the Browns can pull off the upset. I think they can pull up the upset on the Cowboys. And I'm excited. I think they're going to win. I think, all right, so when I'm realizing that I got a message from somebody and people are typing in the chat, but I am not able to see all of the chats apparently. So let's go back to the chat. I'm going to look at it on my computer and see if I can see everything. I apologize. Maybe I just can't see everything. But yeah, again, if anybody knows where Zach Dubs is, he is freaking missing. I mean, what the heck, Zach? Just kidding. I didn't tell him that. I canceled the podcast for this week and found out I could do it last minute. So shout out to Sheldon Richardson as he has been outstanding on the defensive line. I completely agree. Mike Brown's UK, completely agree. He has been fantastic. Myles Garrett has been great. I mean, guys have really stepped up. And I'm excited for Mack Wilson to come in and get some reps this coming week against the Cowboys. I honestly think that the Cowboys can go 3-1. If you can see this, the Cleveland Monsters will win 2021 Calder Cup. That'd be sweet. What I don't understand is the Lake Erie Monsters switched their name to Cleveland Monsters as a branding thing, but after they won the Calder Cup in 2016, that makes no sense to me. But we'll talk about this, after on Monday after the Browns beat the Cowboys. I honestly believe they're going to beat the Cowboys. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to put 30 points up again. I'm going to say 31-24. I'm going to say the Browns win by a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys. That defense is going to be a little better next week. Again, I think that they get pressure on the defensive line. And, you have Ronnie Harrison come in and Mack Wilson. Yes, they're going to get carved a little bit by Ezekiel Elliott. I think that Cowboys score first. But I'm excited. If we score 30 points, I feel that we can win against Cowboys for sure. I think if they can score 30 points, and it's very possible that whole team is stacked. But I do see the Browns pulling off the upset and being 3-1. I will tweet something out that if the Browns lose, I will do something for every retweeting like this, kids. Mike Brown's UK says 31-27. Interesting. But we're going to stop there. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. This has been the Yacht Club at Sir Yacht. And not Zach Dubs. Zach Dubs is not here. He is missing. He is on his stream because I did not tell him in time that we are having a show. So, unfortunately, Zach Dubs is missing. Please support him at Zach Dubs everywhere. On TikTok, he has over 400,000 followers. But this has been the Yacht Club with Sir Yacht and missing Zach Dubs. Today, we are sponsored by Sports Nation Ohio. If you're looking for sponsorship opportunities, so are we. Please message me on Twitter or email me for rates, siryachtofficial@gmail.com. I want to thank our producer, Tyler Pickett, so much for streaming and remoting in from Arkansas to do the show today, very last minute, while he's doing other things in Arkansas for production and TV. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the listeners, all the shipheads out there, and most importantly, Cam Voice for making all this possible, making this production possible. God bless all you guys. I hope you have a great Monday. And I hope the Chiefs win tonight, but I think the Ravens will. Again, this is the Yacht Club. It's Sir Yacht and Missing Dak Dubs. We are sponsored today by Sports Nation Ohio, and we will see you next Monday. Good night, Cleveland.